Hi, so I have some time in a hotel in Iquitos. This is 2 days after my last ceremony, the fourth and last ceremony. That was back in the jungle, which seems very distant and far away from this kind of modern world that we're living in right now. So if my thoughts and recollections are a little bit hazy, forgive me. It's been 2 days. But at the same time, I really feel like I didn't really need the fourth ceremony, even though it was the deepest that I went into. I took a normal dose of the batch that I took on New Year's, the one that has more chacruna, has more DMT. I saw a lot of visuals similar to what most of my peers were seeing. Keep in mind that I never saw visuals in my second or third. I envisioned the Maloka, which is the space that we're tripping in, to be like a jungle, and I saw like these kind of slow-moving spirits just kind of walking through. I saw a lot of different kinds of lights, but these were also like different kinds of energy that I found in the room. On my third ceremony, I felt like that I was a healer, and that, I don't know, that's kind of my gift that I have for society, humanity. The fourth ceremony was all about putting that into practice. So it may seem strange, but that whole night was very, very draining and taxing, because I felt like I was healing not only my own kind of self-loathing or self-healing, but to everyone in the room. I felt like I was aiding in their struggles, but beyond that, it went for all of humanity. I envisioned kind of like a darkness or a negative energy or just pain and suffering, and just kind of all facets of kind of what the world is suffering through right now. For instance, I remember a moment where I imagined the terrorists in the Middle East, their kind of pain and suffering, and their kind of backlash to modern society. I saw their darkness, saw their pain. I wanted to heal them, but at the same time, it was almost like it was a too large of a force for me to handle at that time. Similar to the third night, just really, really strong feelings of love for everybody, compassion for everybody, but at the same time a huge, huge desire to love someone and to start a family with them, to raise a household of love. I really thought of sloths. I'm really thinking about adopting a sloth, because we saw it in the jungle, got to pet them earlier that day. Sloths are always in a constant state of zen. They embody that. And, I don't know, I just kind of envision like this family with like a pet sloth. It would be really nice if I end up going through with that. What else did I feel? A lot of what my peers felt in the third ceremony was to have this kind of spirit of strength for them to kind of pass through any obstacle. I really felt that because again, this dose was pretty heavy. I was feeling super duper tired. I couldn't move. I remember I was like, dude, you need to, it sounds silly, but you need to have strength so you can walk to the bathroom, so you can take a piss. That was super duper challenging at the time. But it took me a long time, but I did it, and I really felt empowered, or I felt like I empowered myself. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it was all about me sort of practicing my healing in this sort of quasi-psychedelic state. So, I mean, I didn't really need the fourth ceremony because I learned that I was a healer in the third ceremony. And as kind of cool or crazy as it was in the fourth ceremony, trying to heal the scars and wounds of the world, I mean, I don't know if I actually did that. I guess I did that. I guess I spiritually did that. I feel like everyone in the Maloka, everyone in that setting, was just kind of channeling through themselves and through their own purging, just kind of sort of like what Jesus did, like wiping away the sins of the world, like collectively. And I guess from the start of the night to the end of the night, there is a little bit less suffering and pain in the world. That's what I envision. And other than that, not really much else insight. I guess I'll talk about, I mean, what all four of those ceremonies mean as a whole. I think for me personally, again, ayahuasca has so many different forms for every single person. But for me, it really just, I mean, the first ceremony, I simply just think I didn't have enough. And there was some blockage in my head. Also, the marijuana could have blocked it because the shaman said they're kind of opposing forces. So that was kind of a throwaway. The second ceremony, it worked, and I feel like in that one ceremony, actually, all of the self-suffering I healed in that one night. Again, that was the one where I said love is the answer to all my questions. The third one was the one where I was in this completely Zen state, and I felt like I was a healer. And then the fourth one was where, you know, I sort of took on that, embodied that spirit of a healer and just healed the world, so to speak. I recommend ayahuasca to anybody. Well, the bottom line is I think everyone could benefit from ayahuasca. But I know that it's not going to work for everybody. Some people are just dug too deep within their own egos that I think many ceremonies of ayahuasca won't even, if you're stubborn about it, it's not going to get through to you. You have to really surrender. At the same time, all these ideas and thoughts are not, you know, these new kind of epiphanies that come from the outside and just strike you in your head and you're like, ah, the moment of clarity. These are all things, all these things that I've learned are all things that always have crossed my mind, but that I've, I guess, blocked. So if you need that extra push, if you're suffering inside, or if you have, or if you want to make that change but you can't, this is a good slap in the face. Ayahuasca is to really just kind of bolt you in that direction or path that you want to go. So I could think of a number of people who could benefit from ayahuasca. With that said, I think with that fourth ceremony, which was the most visual, the most psychedelic one for me. I could easily see how someone who does multiple ceremonies with no intention, or I guess believe too deeply in the power of ayahuasca, I could see how that can also derange a person or lead them astray in a sense. So I really think, again, it's different for everybody. For me, I think 3 ceremonies was enough. I think maybe like a year from now or years from now, it'll be good to do it again. But if I were to do like 5, 7, 8 ceremonies in a row, I don't know what more I could gain from that. Well, that was my ayahuasca journey. I hope that was informative. And yeah, I mean, it's not a drug. It's a medicine. It's a healing medicine. That's how you should be thinking about it. All right. See ya.